There's
Yes.
within the idea there's 7 paths, and it starts with the path of suffering, then the path of awakening, and then the path of healing, the path of transformation, the path of the archetype, path of surrender, and the path of service. And so each person is coming to the table on one of those paths, which is basically their own self-reference. They can decide for themselves, and you can shift during the day, you can shift in your life, but some people are definitely on a path of healing, looking for healing, and some people are a little bit more, I'm in my archetype, I'm a wizard, and I want to come together with other wizards, and I want to have a great discussion about transformation or something. So that's a different discussion. And if you are full service and you've given yourself to spirit or your cause, and you're like a white knight, and you're not thinking of yourself at all, and you're coming to the table just to be of service, complete service. That's very different from, you're suffering and you're not even healing. You just have a crappy life, and you want to get out of it. And so each of those would come to the harmonizer for different reasons. But at different times, different people are on different paths, and this is why some of us may enjoy the conversation or not, or if you have groups, usually somebody who's in the most vulnerable spot, can take a lot of the group energy going through them, and that can usually mean that person can have a breakdown. But for a facilitator, what it does is it gives a prime reference point, one, to answer the question, because you notice you can talk about anything, and go off on different tangents, but what this is doing is you're always coming back to the question you asked, and then you're using the tools to try to see it different, to try to, you're moving perspectives, you're learning to move your conceptual lens in your mind, you're learning to see the world through different concepts, and that in itself is a skill. So the tools are helping the mind to sort of see, what does it mean to look through multiple levels? What does it mean to look through multiple perspectives? And so when you sit at the table enough, at some point you go, I'm just at a perspective, and you're at a perspective, and you're at a perspective, and not one is more valid. They're just different, but we get very attached to our perspective, and then we think it's the truth.
It occurs to me, LSDs and mushrooms are also good for opening up new perspectives, making new connections. That's connections like these, and it occurs to me they would be a good match.
Oh, big time.
Really, really good synergetic match.
Big time. I mean, there's some very interesting things that can happen when you're harmonizing. So, thank you, gentlemen, for that harmonizer. That was a historic event. Thanks for having it filmed.
It's
And
historic.
thanks for Cody
Epic.
to make it all happen.
Thanks so
And
much, Elijah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It was an honor. Or joy.
One more layer.
another layer of the